Hello, hi, welcome. Welcome to today's mini live where I'm going to talk about grounding and being in our bodies. So, there's already a lot that's been written about grounding. They now sell blankets so that you can lie, because we live in concrete blocks, we don't always have access to the earth like our ancestors who used to run around barefooted and just be so much closer to the earth. When we're closer to the earth has this magnetic frequency, and this magnetic frequency of the earth is the same frequency of our brain waves when we slow down and we go into that alpha theta frequency, which is around 7.8 hertz, which is the Schumann resonance. So this is something that we know when we're in nature. If we go barefoot, there's been a lot about that, okay? How when we're in nature, when we go barefoot, it can not only tap into our parasympathetic because it slows our brain waves down, it means that also it reduces our cortisol, our stress hormone, which means that our immunity is improved, our whole physical health and wellness is improved. Okay, so this is already becoming sort of common knowledge to the point where, we know that we should be going barefoot, but because we can't, certain shoe companies doing really well out of inventing shoes that mean that we can be practically in our modern world, but still get the benefits of being barefoot. So that's one aspect. And in terms of grounding for us on a practical level in our bodies, the minute we drop all this that's going on in here, we're always in here. Our modern world is so much around the internet, the screen, the phone, all of schooling. Yes, there's sports, but actually most of schooling is around doing really well with our STEM subjects and that frontal logical part of our brains. Okay, logic. It's the yang of life. When things get done, logic. When we drop away from that, we drop into our bodies. And our bodies is the direct way to get grounding. Before we even touch the earth, if we can't go out into nature and be barefoot on the earth, when we inhale and exhale down and take our focus away from our busy beta brain, down through all the layers of our being into our body, immediately our consciousness changes. Our focus changes. And the minute we change our thought patterns, it sets off trillions of sparks and cellular activity in our body. That expression of where energy goes, where energy flows, where thought goes, energy flows. Where thought goes, energy flows. So if we're not thinking about something that's directly in front of us, but we're thinking about something that drops down through our body, down, all the way into the earth, our energy drops down. As our energy travels down through our body, the minute that energy starts to go down, for a start, we might feel this big sigh of relief. It's like when I give treatments with people, the minute you lay your hands down, that healing touch, that sense of being held and nurtured, immediately my client will just breathe this big sigh of relief and this dropping down. By doing this big sigh of relief that often comes all the way into the belly, our energy has dropped down. It then goes into the pelvis. Our pelvis is our main point of gravity in our bodies. It's the biggest, heaviest part of our bodies. And this pelvic area is our point of gravity. And from there, if we feel the weight of our legs drop down through our pelvis, down into the earth, and then we feel the energy go down through our legs, through our bones, through into our feet. If you start to bring your focus all the way down through into your feet, into your heels, into the balls of your feet, into your toes, inhale and exhale down through the bony structures of your feet, and visualize your breath going down through your feet even further. We are connecting through this grounding breath and through this grounding visualization into the earth. And yes, it does help, even if you're on the 75th floor of a skyscraper, it's still going to help. Partly why is because the moment we, as I said, as our attention goes to moving down our body, all the cellular activity directs towards that place. So our active thinking is very important. Our visualization is very important. That's how The Secret has made that lady a millionairess. And also, our brains cannot cope with all the amount of input that comes in, day out. If we remembered every bit of information, or if we tried to focus on so many things at once, we wouldn't get anything done, right? And that's partly, I think, why in this modern age, we do often feel so scattered, because we have so many things that are vying for our attention, especially on the internet. Everything we do, even the most simplest thing for me, sometimes I get stressed just going to do a simple shop, because there are so many varieties of the same product, whatever they are, and the brain just starts to get overwhelmed, overload. Which is why there's this part of our brain called the reticular activating system that will hone in on what's important to you. So the minute you decide, okay, I'm going to drop out of that thought process, I'm going to throw that away, I'm just going to draw everything in and come back into my body, immediately there's this sigh. There's this sigh of us coming back down and dropping down. Now, the immediate grounding that we have within us is our actual inner physical structure, our inner scaffolding, and that is our bones, our skeletal structure, our skeleton. Our bones not only hold us together, not just our bones, our whole fascia, that's another story, holds us together, but not only our bones hold us together, we form our blood cells from within all our bones. Right in the center of our bones is our bone marrow, so it's where we are created. We come from our breath, which goes into our oxygenate our blood. The oxygenated blood goes all the way and into our bones, and we create new blood cells to help us grow right in our bones. So if we bring our attention into our bones, we're coming right back to the inner essence, the truth of who we are, before anything else, before history, society, stories, this, that, right back to evolution. So when we bring our focus into our bones, we're going right back to evolution, to Neanderthal times, prehistoric times. Well, maybe not prehistoric. My history's not great. I guess we didn't roam with the dinosaurs, right? But back to ancient times. So when we connect back into our bones, everything else drops. Again, it's that drawing in of our energy and of our attention and of our focus to come back to the center. And if we have trouble to visualize because our brain is so full, then simple touch, which I've mentioned before, where you actually feel the physical structure of your bones, immediately gives you a sense of grounding, the solidity of your body. And this is why, for example, contact dance is so immediately grounding. You know, you have to stay on it. You have to stay on it because you're working with someone, and immediately you can change and something can evolve in that moment when you're moving with someone. But you don't have to be dancing with them. Can you imagine? The people that you feel comfortable with are the people that you can give a hug, are the people that you can physically touch. And how about that practice of doing a high five with someone, especially with children? High five! If you high five someone, doesn't that create a real sense of connection and grounding and immediate presence? You know, you don't just do high five to anyone, right? And perhaps it's been seen as an activity for children, but actually, if you high five someone, you're connecting into the solidity of the other person. Immediately, the sensation goes through into your inner body, and you're not up there floating in the clouds. Another thing that you can do that is really grounding, that's a way of connecting to the solidity of your body, is if you use your body as an instrument. I can't remember the name of that group, and there's that group that play all their instruments from their bodies. So if you use your body as an instrument, and you're tapping, that immediacy and that presence of tapping in your body brings all your energy back in. And that's why sometimes just to wake up your body, we can do this Qigong energetic exercises, any exercises where we are tapping. If you use your fingers, and so that if you use the fingertips, you feel the bony structure from your elbow to your fingers tapping and vibrating. And so with our bones also, when we give focus to our bones, we give focus to our weight, the gravity in our pelvis down. So the weight means that we're bearing our weight onto the earth through our feet to the earth. And when we do that, the friction of when we put our weight, our feet, or whatever part of your body touching not just to the earth, but to any hard surface, the friction there causes this electrical energy. It's actually called piezoelectricity. We have this electrical energy that occurs in our body. And this energy actually creates, encourages the osteoclasts in our bones to create new blood cells. So this is part of the whole thing around osteoporosis and getting older, where we have to use weight-bearing exercises to give our bones strength. And so any weight-bearing exercise is grounding. So yes, absolutely. Well, if you're doing weight training, you can't really be thinking about what you're going to do shopping and focusing on lifting that weight without giving yourself an injury. You have to be fully present in your body to be able to lift those weights. And so that's the same with running, with stamping. And the other thing about using our body as an instrument is that actually, when we create a rhythm within us, it's the same as emulating the rhythm of the mother's heartbeat in the womb, the rhythm of the earth, the frequency of the earth. And being grounded means that we're just being present. And actually grounding is our base chakra. It's the base chakra in yoga. It's the first layer of Abraham Maslow's law of map of actualization, to self-actualize. And it's the most fundamental thing that we have, is to have our basic needs met in base chakra, which so many people in the world now don't have their basic needs met, far from. So grounding is the most important thing about being embodied, being in our bodies, having our fundamental needs met, being fed, being watered, being kept warm, feeling safe, which is also why when we're not comfortable, we might feel the cold in our bones. We might feel the fear. If we're not feeling safe, we will feel that fear right in our bones. So when we're grounded and feeling safe, and we have all our basic needs met, then we're not going to be stressing and scattered. So this is why this creates a sense of calm and presence within us, even if we cannot go outdoors in nature barefoot, which is not always practical, especially in this country, in England, where I am. And grounding is also the first module of my signature program, Roots and Wings, which I'm launching in January. This is a complete program to take you through all the layers of your being, through movement and dance, so that you can get your roots, so that then you'll be able to fly. So I hope you got something out of this mini live today. It's still a new practice for me, of being present and of speaking out into the world through a little box, the wonders of technology, but still staying grounded with this practice that I'm doing now. So have a great weekend and see you soon.